Good morning, everyone. Before we get started today, I wanted to ask you to support one of our affiliate partners, CHOQ, C-H-O-Q. This company uses the finest organic, non-GMO ingredients in their products. Our featured product today is CHOQ Lit Powder. I use it every morning in my coffee, making it the most nutritious coffee mocha on the planet. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. To find out more, click the link below. They have sales all the time, so hurry and get yours today. Thank you. And now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Hey, good morning, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. I sure did. It was wonderful. All my cats around me. Yeah, you can call me the cat man. No, I only have two. Yeah. Joke around and say that I sleep with two boys. My cats. My wife, she sleeps with three boys, or three men. The cat's and me. Oh, my goodness. But what a wonderful day this is going to be today. And this message today is going to be really, really, really cool. This is going to be some meaty stuff that we're going to talk about because Paul is in a situation to where he's presenting the gospel to as many people as he possibly can. But in order to do that, he needs to be able to communicate with them. And how does a person communicate with strangers? Well, first we have to, in order to have good dialogue and good communication where there's an accurate exchange of information, we have to be tuned to the same frequency. Kind of like in the AM radio station, where you some of you kids might not know this, but there was a time when the radio stations radios had dials on them where you could finely tune the frequency into the radio station so you could listen to it really clearly. Yeah. Our TVs were the same way. You could just kind of tune it in to where your picture was clearer. I know, right? I mean, that's just amazing technology. Now, boop, things do it automatically for us. But back then, you had to tune it in. But when we're communicating with people, we have to do the same thing because all of us are vibrating at different frequencies. Yeah, all of us are at a different emotional level at different times in our lives and different times during the day. So if you try to communicate with someone and you're at a different frequency, for example, if you are joyful and happy, and those people that are jumping around and they're always so happy and they're like, oh, wonderful, and this is really great, and the great things are going to be happening, and oh, isn't this pretty? And don't you just hate those people? Wow, where do they come from? Have that person try to talk to somebody who is apathetic, who's like, everything is, it doesn't really matter what I do because, it's all going to be destroyed anyway. The government, they're all out to get us. And the only place where I feel safe is inside my bedroom and inside my bed. And that's the only place where I feel safe and warm. And everything is horrible. It's just awful. It's just really awful out there. It's just terrible. Imagine those two people trying to have a conversation. Is it going to happen? No. They'll both be upset. And eventually, the one who is happy all the time will come down to the one that's not. Or what'll happen is that the higher frequency, and this is the way it works, my friends, the higher frequency people can pull up those who are in lower frequencies. I know. Hang around with a happy person long enough, you're going to be happy. You're going to be looking at the world totally different. But the opposite can work too. Yep. Too much depressing can bring everybody down. Like energy attracts like energy. Starts pulling everything together. Boop, 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 till they're connected. I know. Well, let's see what Paul has to say about this. Oh, there they are. Thought I lost my magic glasses. They're right here. Now I can see the Word of God more clearly. And here we go. We're still in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, starting with verse 19. Because I am free of all these things, I have served all men that I may gain many. See, he's implying here that he is free to move up and down the frequencies as much as he wants to because he can. Because he's been blessed by the Lord to be able to do that. You might say he's clear. So with the Jews, I became as a Jew, that I might win the Jews. And with those who are under the law, I became as one who is under the law, that I might win those who are under the law. To those who are without law, I became like one who is without law, though I am not lawless before God. In other words, he was with the lawless people, but he wasn't breaking the law. He was with them, but he wasn't violating the law. Because I am under the law of Christ, that I might win them who are without law. See, he's going into the gang members' dens and talking with those folks and being part, hanging around with them, trying to show them a better way. With the weak, I became as weak, that I might win the weak. See, he lowered his frequency so that he could communicate with people who are weak. I became everything to every man, that I might by all means save everyone. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker of it. You see how he was becoming like these other people in order for him to win them over. See, because he was at such a high frequency, he was resonating at such a high frequency that he could freely move up and down the emotional tone. The higher frequencies can always move down to the lower frequencies for communication purposes. They just don't like staying down there, you see. Eventually, they're going to have to leave those people and go to people who are of a higher frequency. You know, or go to an event that helps them raise their frequency back up to where it should be. Is that making sense? Oh, no. You know, there's science behind this, right? You know, this is it's not, hearsay for me. There was actually studies done. And there's actually a chart that was created so to help us understand where people are on the emotional tone. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Surprise, I have a chart. This, as you can see here, is the Hubbard chart of human evaluation and Dianetics processing. And over here, we can see the free theta that a person has. And here we have an arbitrary number associated with an emotional tone. Okay? And we can see the emotional tones that are right here. We have, I'm going to have to get all my magic glasses so I can see these too. Okay. So see, here at the top, we have. Oh, wait, here's emotions. I'm sorry, I was pointing at the wrong chart. Was there? See, I didn't have my magic glasses on, so I couldn't see it clearly. So we have emotions here in column F. You see, we have strong interest, mild interest, contentment, indifference, boredom, expressed resentment, anger, unexpressed resentment, fear, grief, apathy, deepest apathy, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? So we can see what emotional tone they're at, but how do we communicate with them? Well, and we see their numbers here. So we see at the 1.1 their speech, how they talk and listen. 1.1 speech, talks and listens is talks in apparent theta, but vicious intent and lies. These are the woke people. See, they talk in apparent theta, but with vicious intent and lies. See, and they listen little, but mostly to cabal or gossip and lies. Yeah. See, these are, and you've talked to them, you've experienced it. These are the woke people. They're in this frequency here. And we go down to 0.5. It talks only in apathetic tones, very little, listens little, mostly to apathy and pity. You see? So in order for you to communicate with these people at these levels, you need to communicate in those terms. And they will hear you. They will be able to listen to you. But if we climb up the tone, let's go to let's go up here to the anger. The anger 1.5 talks of death and destruction only. Hate listens only to death and destruction. Rex theta lines. These are like the communists, Democrats, socialists, things like that. This is the line that they communicate in. See, because they talk of death and destruction only. We want to tear this place down. We got to tear it up. We got to destroy it. We got to, you see, they're all in with the destruction. That's the communist frame of mind, is to destroy things, especially in the government realms. You see, talk of destruction, but then you go up to let's go up to boredom. Let's go up to boredom 2.5. Let's say casual, pointless conversations, listens only to ordinary affairs. So these people are your normies. They're normal people. They're like, yeah, things are cool. It's yeah. Not really involved with anything special. Not really swimming upstream or downstream. Just kind of in a boat, just riding. They're cool. Not stressing over anything much, really. But then we go up to let's go up to contentment. This level of 3.0. On another chart, you know what they call it, 3.0? Conservatism. Yeah, conservatism is a higher frequency than the others. So what are these? How do these people talk? All right. Um, tentative expression of limited numbers of personal ideas. Receives ideas and beliefs if cautiously stated. See? They express the tentative expression of limited number of personal ideas. So these are people that say, "Hey, you know, I got this idea. Let's do something. Let's do something fun. Let's do. You know, what do you think? Let's create something." This is the beginning of creating. They have these thoughts. Do they get them done? No, but they have ideas. See, we go up to 3.5 here, and we'll talk of deep-seated beliefs and ideas. We'll accept deep-seated belief and ideas, beliefs, and consider them. So these are people that you can talk to and be like, okay, yeah, what you're saying is making sense. Okay, yeah, I think that's a good idea. If they're communicated at that frequency level. You see, and they'll communicate these ideas too. It's like, yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. I could do that. And let's go up to 4.0. Yeah, strong, able, swift, a full exchange of belief and ideas. Is there anybody in our government right now that you think is doing that? Who is doing things who is strong, able, swift, and full exchange of belief and ideas? Is there anybody that you can think of that's operating at that level right now? Anybody? Anybody that you know of that has the same belief since the 1980s and has spoken about it? Knows about it? I'll give you a word and you can look it up. Tariffs. Just a suggestion. You can look it up. And then follow along with that. And if you want to really learn about that chart and learn how to read it and learn how to interpret it and stuff like that, the book Science of Survival has that chart in it, and it explains how you can read each of the columns, how to understand each of the levels in each of the columns. I recommend it. Life-changing. You might find a whole lot about yourself if you do that. So, but what Paul was doing is he was able to move up and down this line so that he could communicate with all those different people and all those different frequencies. See? And that's what we should be able to do. But if you can't, you communicate at the frequency where you're at. See? You identify where a person is on their emotional tone, and then you communicate with them at that emotional tone and then a little higher to help pull them up to a different understanding. I like saying that when I'm talking to people, that they're inside a box. They're in the box. You know, everybody's in their box, in their vision. They have tunnel vision. They have tunnel vision of the things that they're looking at and their world view. And they're inside their box, and their box contains all four walls, but all those four walls are reflecting their belief system, their view of the world. Okay? And what I like to say is you know, I'm sitting on the edge of the box and my feet are hanging in it. You know, and I'm showing them, hey, you know, this place up here, this is a bigger box up here. This bigger box up here is so much different than the one you're living in, and it is really, really cool. But you don't have to climb out if you don't want to, but when you're ready, I'll be here to lift you up. You see? Simple conversations around things like that. If you feel like your world is a world of shit, then hey, there's no shit up here. Come on up. Come on up. Really, you're going to criticize my forbidden language? Got you to listen, though, didn't it? See? Tony Robbins was right. If you've ever been to one of his places, he uses a lot of forbidden language. Maybe not so much anymore, but at times, well, yeah, okay. But that's to, get people out of their rut. Be bumped out. Come on, stop it. In there, don't make such a big deal about that crap. But are we? But you seeing? You getting the frequency? See, I had to use forbidden language because that's what you use, and now you can hear what I'm saying and you can understand that the gospel was written for you, and these scriptures, all these scriptures, were written for you so that you could learn about them and increase your conscious awareness about your oneness with God. The higher frequencies that we're talking about here. See? God doesn't live in those lower frequencies. He lives in the higher frequencies. Now, he can visit you at yours, but he's not going to stay down there. Not going to stay down there. When you start raising your frequency, praise and worship, gratitude, see, those are the things that praise, those are higher frequencies. Those are higher frequencies levels. That's when you can get connected with God. Makes sense, doesn't it? I know, right? Too easy. Too easy. And you wonder how Reverend Dr. Ken can be so insane and so insightful. Well, I hope you liked what we talked about today, and I hope you take a look around at your world and see and test it out. Try it. See if it works for you. All right? But until then, remember to share, like, and subscribe. And remember, too, that God loves you, and I wish you well. Namaste. Hey, before you go, I wanted to remind you to click the link below to try chocolate powder. It's full of vital nutrients that'll help jumpstart your day. They have sales all the time, so hurry and get yours today. Thanks.